our studies of Native American artists, as November is Native American History Month in the United States. Our artist of focus today is a woman named Raven Halfmoon, and I want to correct, first of all, an error that I believe I made in the email that I sent everyone. Ms. Halfmoon's last name is one word. I might have put it as two separate words. Halfmoon is one word, not two. So I want to make sure everyone understands and knows that. We're going to start immediately with our slideshow that I'm going to share with everyone. We'll look at images of her work, talk briefly about it, share our thoughts and ideas about what we think about it, and then I will give everyone their own art assignment of what they can create, hopefully inspired by her work and her expression. Here we go. I love when we can jump right in. Oh, and I want to share, Manju has brought in treats for the Indian New Year. Diwali ended just yesterday, correct? And there is a big celebration for the new year, and she has brought in treats for us to enjoy. Those of us who are here, sorry, those of you who are at home, you won't be able to partake, but those of us who are here will be able to share the homemade treats that she has brought in for us to eat at the end of class. So, and to make sure everyone understands, these are treats from Southeast Asian India, not from Indian culture from the North American continent. Here we go with our slideshow about Raven Halfmoon. Oh, I need the ability to share, please. Laura, our wonderful librarian, who does so much work for us, is enabling me to share the screen with you all. I did not hear what you said. Esty, but I'm sure it was incredibly astute. Raven Halfmoon is a painter and sculptor from the Caddo Nation. So the Caddo people come from Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana originally. Everyone at home, you can see this. Folks are off screen, but if someone could give me, I think I heard a yes.
Did hear a yes.
That's good. She is known for her oversized clay-based sculpture. She was born in 1991. She's quite young. She's younger than my child, so she's quite young. This is the first piece that we're going to look at by Raven Halfmoon. She grew up in Binger and Norman, Oklahoma. She was introduced to working with clay at the age of 13 and was influenced by another Caddo artist named Jerry Redcorn. So these are clay, and they're quite heavy. Her smaller works run from 300 to 400 pounds. The larger pieces, I believe, go from 600 to 800 pounds. So they're quite large and quite heavy. This is she standing next to one of her pieces. I'm guessing this is one of her smaller ceramic works. She studied at the University of Arkansas and graduated with a double bachelor's degree in cultural anthropology ceramics, and painting. She often does these multiple figures that have many eyes or multiple other body parts. I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to try and play for you an audio clip interview that she gave in which she talks about her work. I could not find a video clip, so we'll listen to part of, it's quite a long audio clip. We'll listen to part of it. She studied at the University of Arkansas. I think I mentioned that. Graduated with a double degree. Yes, I mentioned that. She has recently completed a 2-year residency at the Archie Bray Foundation for the Ceramic Arts. She completed that in 2021. And her first solo exhibit was called Oklahoma to Manhattan, which debuted in 2021 at the Ross Kramer Gallery in New York City. It was developed during her Bray Foundation residency. The title of the show combined the Choctaw phrase for the Kodo Nation with the Lenape word for Manhattan. Oh, that was Lenape? What's the name? Yes, Manhattan in Lenape is Mannahatta. The collection consisted of 10 large-scale pieces, some weighing upwards of 450 pounds and standing 6 feet tall. These are all clay. If they weigh that much, I'm guessing they're fairly solid. They're not hollow inside. So they must be quite expensive to build. And she must have a very large kiln to fire them in. Do you ever say why they're so big? I think she does mention that in the audio clip. So we're going to hopefully be able to listen to that soon. I don't have a whole lot of information about her work. This Archie Bray Foundation residency was in Helena, Montana. She lives and works in Norman, Oklahoma. She is represented by the Corey Correo Gallery in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the Ross Kramer Gallery in New York, which is a pretty well-known, highly recognized gallery in New York City. She's been featured in multiple exhibitions throughout the US as well as internationally. She frequently signs her sculpture. This is unique among sculptors. Do you see her name on the side of this piece? It says Raven Halfmoon. She glazed the work with her name. So I'm going to scroll through. I don't think I have too many more pictures in this slideshow. It says, "You don't look native." So her work definitely refers to Native American culture and life. She does, in her audio clip, talk about issues of identity, which are very important to her. I find her work, the best word for me when I look at her images, I find her work shocking. What do you think? For me, it's kind of slap you in the face imagery. Maybe that's why they're big, Eileen said. Maybe. So they have impact. Do you speak Indian? This one says. That could mean many different things. It could just mean, do you speak the Indian language? Do you understand Indian culture? Could mean a lot of different things. Why? Can you articulate why? Okay. Eileen said she likes the eyes.
Kind of like the they're inscrutable.
Okay. Alice said they're inscrutable eyes. And Eileen said the gaze is really direct. They're looking right at you.
Oh, no eyes, no pupils.
Well, they're shut. Yeah, there's no visible eyeball. Certainly the faces are really powerful. Strong faces.
That hair?
I believe, yes. They kind of have a Mount Rushmore feel to them. Am I right? The monumental quality. Okay, let's try and play the audio clip and then we will move on to our own work. I want to see if I can share the screen and play that. Let's see how we do with this. Folks at home, can you see this image? I mean, it's only going to show this one picture and it's all audio.
And right now we're at Art of Mine with my solo show Ancestors today.
So this is Raven herself speaking.
The main area, which has 5 large sculptures. We were talking before this that the weight of each sculpture is, you estimate, about 600 pounds?
Yeah, so the smaller pieces, I would say, are closer to 450 or 500 pounds. And then the larger pieces are 600 to 700 pounds. They're pretty heavy. They need forklifts to be moved and a whole crew to help lift them on gantries. They're heavy, but luckily I have a whole team that helps me with everything, and it's kind of like a community-based effort.
So could you talk about how identity is a part of your art practice?
Yeah, so I talk a lot in my work about identity, culture, heritage, and really what that means to me, and also what that means today and how we express identity today. So a lot of the figures, I feel like I'm building more than just myself. I feel like I'm making my mother, my grandmother, my Grammy, even my ancestors, which what this show is titled. So I feel like with this work, I'm bringing a lot more than my own experiences with me. Like I'm carrying a lot of people with me, and they're all here, like in this space. And so a lot of my figures, if you see them, are multifaceted. There's multiple heads, multiple eyes on the figures. And so it's me physically manifesting these ideas of what does it look like to have multiple viewpoints with you, and what that looks like to bring all of those forward. I'm trying to express, traditional knowledge of like how I grew up and my culture. I'm Caddo, I'm a Caddo citizen, and so I'm always trying to bring that knowledge forward into today, but also it's a balance with materialistic side of me likes, which is I'm into fashion and brands and, you know, new age music coming out, and entwined with that is always like this grounding place of where I grew up, where my tribe is, my family's experiences, and how do those things, what does that look like today on a modern platform, and how can those things be entwined and in conversation? I feel like people have this stereotype of what being Native is or what Indigenous people are, and so a lot of my work is really saying we're still here and a contemporary people.
You mentioned ancestral knowledge, the clay, that is a big part of Caddo culture. Could you talk about your relationship with the clay and its significance to the Caddo culture?
Yeah, so I've always been very drawn to clay. I actually had my first little clay class when I was with an elder in my tribe. Her name is Jerry Redcorn, and she's a very well-known, famous traditional Caddo potter. Traditional in the sense she pulls the clay from the earth. It's all traditionally fired. Clay is tied to multiple indigenous communities, you know, throughout the U.S., but specifically with Caddos, we have a very close tie to the material and how far back we've used it. So I was at the Archaeological Survey Center in Arkansas, and Arkansas is one of the places Caddos are originally from. So I was able to go to that institute and hold, you know, my ancestors' pots that were made thousands of years ago. And it's just blown away to be tied back to that moment and tied back to your people. So then from there, I took that knowledge and a lot of that imagery, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, but how can I make it relevant and important to like what I want to say?
Would you choose a sculpture and describe it for us?
Yes, we can go. Yeah, so this piece is Red River Mother.
I'm assuming it's this one.
I just had.
I'm assuming folks at home that the image you can see is the one she's talking about.
Which is also tattooed on my forearm. And it's a design that can be seen on a lot of Caddo pottery. A lot of people believe that it's waves, water, rivers. So the Caddo people were on the Red River, which is the river that divides Oklahoma and Texas. I wanted to make a piece that was a homage to where we come from. And so she's titled Red River Mother, and she also has some tattoos on her face. So she has a little bit of red blush, a red tattoo.
Not having known you called them tattoos yesterday, I was looking at them. There's also a lot of red X's. You've signed your name. It made me think of vandalism and how there's been a vandalism of culture. Is that at all part of?
Yes, so that's part of it as well. So aesthetically, I like to do the X's and the circles because my work is very gestural and very loose. Like I'm not worried about figures being, like I'm not worried about anatomy, right? Because it's like my concepts are bigger than that. And so because my forms can be very expressive and loose with the clay, I like to have moments aesthetically where like a joint meets on a horse, or where we have moments of like perpendicular lines where things cross. And so for me, it's almost like a breakup of all the texture that's happening, like with my thumbprints and the coils, but also with the X's. And you know, my palette is very my palette's small. I only use generally black, white, and red when I make my work. And so even those colors in itself, they can be very, those colors can be confronting, right? It can be a lot for you to walk in and, you know, high contrast, black, white, and red. And so, yeah, the X's are also kind of this idea of like of vandalism and this idea of tagging pieces, right? And like, that's why I started glazing my name large too, because I didn't see a lot of sculptors or ceramicists like tagging things and putting their name on it. And I was like, man, names are so important to like our history, even our personal histories, right? Like where your name comes from is so important to like where you come from. And so my great grandfather was Halfmoon, and that's where I get my name. And so it's not just to like say, I mean, it is to say, here I am. I should say that. I'm here, I was here, it was tagged, but also it's like bringing that forward and bringing that history too. So then people see the name and they're like, oh, okay, who is this? Like, you know, it's also bringing forward like the history, culture, the people with you.
So I'm sorry, I invite folks to search for this audio clip. It's not hard to find. You just Google Raven Half Moon and you can find it for yourselves. We just don't have time to listen to the whole thing. It's 21 minutes long, and we have our own artwork to get to now, and I want to talk about that next. But it was really fascinating to hear her just begin to talk about what she's trying to attempt in her work. It is very much about identity, her own connection to her ancestry and her Native American heritage. Also, I loved that explanation of why she puts her name on her sculpture. I think that was just brilliant. Eileen.
Have you, any of you been watching Little Bird on PBS?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
It is.
So sad.
It is. It is. Say it again louder, Eileen.
It's called Little Bird.
It's really sad. It's on Saturday night.
Yes. Well, yeah.
It's a series. Eileen's talking about a series on Saturday evenings on PBS called Little Bird, about children who've been separated, Native American children who've been separated from their families by the government, and how they're trying to reconnect with their families now in adulthood. It's powerful. There's also every Tuesday night on PBS a series about Native Americans here in the United States, contemporary Native Americans, which is also wonderful. I was watching it last night. Tara.
There was also this current season of Reservation Dogs, which is on Hulu. The last season, which was this most recent season, there was a whole episode about the same kind of re-education, separation, and it was done in accordance with some of the Native American spirituality and some of the spiritual figures that they have, sort of the, you know, half human, half this, and really, really impactful episode that you would probably. The show is called Reservation Dogs. It's a show about a bunch of young kids who live on a modern
I've never seen it,
reservation.
but
It's some of my friends work on it, and it's a really fabulous
awesome.
show.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah.
Tara's talking about Reservation Dogs on Hulu and recommending it highly. And yeah, the really interesting thing about our artist today, Raven Halfmoon, is that she's trying to connect, as with our artist last week, Wendy Red Stars, trying to connect her contemporary life with her ancestral connection with her Native American heritage. And that's really exciting to me. All right, today, my challenge to folks is to try and create their own ancestral figure. I brought in a lot of materials for you to use. There's some model magic. I don't have actual clay today, but there's model magic. I'm going to do a demonstration on how you can use it. I have bits and pieces of wood. I have a few plastic containers. There are bits and pieces of styrofoam. What else? Beads, cardboard, lots of yarn. You can join things together by wrapping, which we've done in the past with the yarn. And I think that's it. Or if you're not drawn to the three-dimensional realm today, I have brought in paper and drawing equipment. If you would prefer doing something two-dimensional about your past, that's calling to you from what you've looked at today, that works as well. I can put up an image of Ms. Halfmoon's work to get you started on the pathway to creating that. Folks at home, you're lucky because you can use any found materials that you may have laying around your home studio to create. I am going to do a demo on camera. Laura is getting up to set up our camera for us so that I can do that. For those of you who are here, it's now time for you to start gathering up materials that you would want to use. But before you get up, don't get up yet. Any questions? This is a wide open, broad project that I'm giving you. You can go many, many different directions. You can look on your smartphones for images to use. I did in the email that I sent out mention that you could bring family photos again to help you with this project. Maybe you have photos on your cell phones that will prime your creative pump this morning to get you started thinking about your own ancestors and your own heritage. This doesn't have to be about Native American heritage, unless, of course, it is your own. No questions? Okay, you can get up and start pawing through the stuff at the back. Remember, there are many of us here, and we are sharing. If you've never used Model Magic before, I request that you don't take all of it for starters. Wait till I give the demo first. Tara, I felt like you were coming towards me. You have a question.
Yeah, I wound up having a job interview, which is why I'm late. I apologize.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Also, thank you for your email. I appreciated it.
Oh, you're
Very
welcome. Thank you
much.
for sharing your
Yeah,
creativity. It
if
was
you-
awesome.
If you want, I can add you to that one mailing list, so that don't feel pressured to. I would love to. Yeah. I'll have you. It's on Friday, it's my little dispatches. That would be. Are you ready?
Folks at home, did you have any questions? I'm going to put on screen. Well, I can't do it just yet because I'm going to do a demo. But as soon as the demo is over, I will put an image by Ms. Halfmoon on the screen for everyone to look at. Alice, you brought all your equipment, so you're good. I can get my stuff. You're going to share.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Good luck. I love it. Well, that's very interesting. Beautiful drawing.
Nice to like focus on
It's soft. Oh, yeah. It's just getting this thing. A word about the glue, you can pour some into a plate, and you can use little sticks. Use the plates for collecting stuff.
You know what, I didn't get to even put in the file list. I need to be better about this. Oh, the bumps. The bumps. That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm deciding what to do with my.
Oh, that's nice. I have no idea what I'm doing. Right. I mean, I like it.
You know what, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go over. I wanna do 3 blocks to kind of evoke those colors that she wants, that she uses. So it's gonna take a much longer time. Yeah, but I might want to take clay onto the paper. I'll give you what I don't want to use.
We're almost ready for the demo. Folks at home, don't stare.
Do you guys mind just keeping an eye on this stuff? Liz, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab something from my house.
Folks at home, please remember to mute. Oh, I forgot to.
Okay.
That to do the demo, those of you who where Sally sitting, Sally. Sally, you're gonna share this with folks who need. Yeah. Thank you again to Laura, tech queen. So lucky. Myself, I know. So, folks here at home, I'm gonna be doing a demonstration on some tips for building. For building and constructing. Tips. Oh, tips. These are the such good. Whatever the ceiling is made of, it absorbs sound.
You're good, you're on screen. You're on screen for people at home.
Okay, so here we go. First of all, glue. When you are gluing 3-dimensional objects, okay, things that you can see from all sides, three-dimensional. You need a heavy-duty glue. You either need a hot glue gun or something like Elmer's wood glue, or today we're using Gorilla Glue, which is permanent. It will never, ever break. You need something to apply the glue with. Today here at the library, we have some small sticks, which are perfect for applying glue. Good sculpture. With sculpture, you need to think about the base that you're building. You cannot have a bottom smaller than your top. If you try to do this, what's gonna happen? Won't work. If you do this, is it gonna stand? Absolutely, because the base is wider than the top. That's the first thing you need to think about and remember. To attach the base, to whatever you're joining to it, you need the glue. You want to try and not get too much of this glue on your fingers. It's difficult to get off. It's Gorilla Glue. Spread it over the entire surface of what you're attaching and push it on. It really is only adhered permanently when the glue is dry. So if you find it still sliding around, it's probably because the glue is wet, not because you didn't attach it properly, but because it's in the drying stage. This is pretty solid. Look at that. It will come off, but that's because it's still wet. By 12 o'clock it will be dry. It should be dry in a few minutes. Okay, will this work? No. Again, you need a flat surface joined to a flat surface. You can do this, however, if you have enough glue. That will work. Now, a word about model magic. It seems as if you don't need glue when you join this. However, model magic dries. When it dries, it's going to fall right off. So I advise that if you want to attach modeling clay to anything solid, you need glue. And I would put glue both on the modeling clay and the surface that you attach. Also, little things with the modeling clay. It seems as if this should work, just sticking it in. It's not going to stay. I would dip it first in the glue, trying not to get too much on your finger. You probably will, though. I'd stick it first in the glue and then stick it in the modeling clay. There is a lot of yarn and twine. You can actually join things together by wrapping. You can wrap things on. That will work. I think that's about it. You can build with the modeling clay. You can pull shapes out. But if you join modeling clay to modeling clay, it feels like it's going to stay like that forever, but it won't. Where you attach it, it's going to break and fall off. I would recommend putting glue at each juncture, each place where you stick parts together. I would put glue. Even with the modeling clay to modeling clay, I would still use glue at each seam, each joint. Questions? Any time in this process, if you run into problems and you solve them, share them with everybody around you. That's always helpful in this process. All right.
And you did that excellent job.
Pro. Yes. Yeah.
I remember you.
Did you?
Looks like today's about to be.
Sally, I'm giving you this piece of modern wood.
Oh, stop it. Listen, I wish I could draw.
I'm so lucky when we're looking at contemporary artists to be able to hear them speak. It's pretty fantastic. So
I agree.
blue. The clay. Here. take from here. Oh. But we're so lucky to be able to hear directly from the artist. I'll be right there where I can put the picture up. Let me just put this stuff away. Anybody want my blue? Alice, you want this plate? You take, use it up.
Oh, there are two. He and Alice, you remember one thing.
Yes, I'm about to do a picture up. Here comes the picture. Folks at home, I'm putting up a picture momentarily. So she said she puts multiple heads to show multiple points of view. And I think this is the sculpture she was talking about in the audio clip. This is the tattoo, the red wave of the Red River that separates Oklahoma from Texas.
Oh, wait, she's from Oklahoma?
She lives in Oklahoma now. She was born in Oklahoma. And she is from the Caddo Nation. She is a member of the Caddo Nation. She lives and works in Norman, Oklahoma. Folks at home, can you see the picture? People here can see it. Could someone at home let me know you can see the picture, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Margot. And she limits her palette to white, red, and black. I'm not sure why. True confessions, I have not listened to the entire audio clip. So I don't know the reason for that.
Jail, Liz.
I have no idea.
Don't you worry.
It's really bad teaching practice not to have listened to the whole thing. But I confess I have not.
Something for the walk home.
If I had my headphones. but I do not.
I ran grab your aunt, my husband, yeah. He doesn't diagnose, and you know, he's a total geek, so he's ain't at the ready to do his things. Diagnose.
Yes, good.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. So did you always draw? Did you always draw? Oh. What field of science? Oh, goodness. Neuroscience in the Oliver Sacks way. He was a brain.
Another student,
All brain study. And brain
you found it in my bag. Yeah, no. It's my fault.
It's good tracking. It's still alive. What? It was. It's such a cheap reading. Yeah. I had lots of.
Oh my God.
It's perfect. Perfect.
Take a picture. I never thought of that one. You know what this is? Of course, it's a great one.
My nephew did that. He begged me to go to it. In 1984. He was young. I loved it. You didn't like it? The original one?
A little depressing.
You watched the recent. I always saw the original. My son's a big name. Very good. Good luck in 2000. And politically, I like very left wing. I like. Must be in the movie. Yeah, he's in the original was dark hair. He's in Star Wars.
Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
Like,
the original, yes. It's him and Sean Young as Sean Young is the woman.
oh, you know what I'm thinking of another.
The neutral man. Who's the modern Blade Runner?
Ryan Gosling,
That's
and
what I
Harrison
said.
Ford is also in.
That's Ryan Gosling, right? You see? You see.
I gotta get the fit, but I mean, I know he's in the newer movie.
I'm not
Yeah,
thinking
oh,
of
that's
Blade
him.
Runner.
That's actually a really good rendering.
Yes, isn't it?
He's in the new Barbie movie.
Made up.
Yes, he's Ken, right?
He's Ken,
Yeah,
and he was
I
wonderful.
made all the connections, but I didn't know the names.
I'm impressed.
I have a better visual memory than I do.
I'm the person who always gets asked about the names. My
Yeah?
mom would be like, "Who's that guy who was
Give
in
me
the
your
movie?"
telephone number. Whenever I can't think of a name, I'll call you up.
You got it. I'll give it to you.
My-
Sorry, I'm so sorry about that.
I'm thinking of the dystopian movie. The same guy going down to the water. That's all I can remember.
Is it what decade do you remember?
No,
Is it in Los Angeles?
child was young. Yes.
Because the
Also
slaves-
in
the
Los
slaves were
Angeles.
under two in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's like a mess. It's a mess. It's very dystopian.
Well, I just remember being so creepy and scared. My son made me go. Is this about your heritage? No, it's not. Okay. If you're having fun. That's your main. Okay. Here's a great way to learn to draw. Keep working on that picture. So that's a good way. Fantastic. Thank you to all of you who came to the Hoboken Artists Studio Tour. It was the best ever. Hoboken Artist loves, or any artist loves having that kind of support. You know what was very interesting? Artists love still. This kind of thing you can do at home, make a stack of books or a pile of fruit. Yeah, so
learn angles, shading, trying to do it with the, not with color. But I need. We have to go to. One Sunday, I was just studying. Yeah. And I don't know if you all, any of you remember Jim Fallon? He was a student in our class when we were upstairs in the library. That's how long ago. Veteran from Vietnam. He's actually kind of sad had his voice box removed. He has throat cancer. Oh no. Probably from his years in Vietnam. But he's an artist. He made work of combat. Yeah.
You said combat paper?
Combat paper, and he started this organization that's called Veterans for Combat Paper. Combat paper is made from old uniforms that they grind up.
Oh.
And make paper out of. And veterans paint on it and print on it. It's beautiful stuff.
Very interesting.
It's very cool. Jim Fallon used to own and run a jazz club in New York City.
What a guy.
Yeah, he was in Milwaukee's area. Yeah, I used to attend these art classes years ago. He was a member of Hobart Cooperative Gallery. Big guy. And very sweet and gentle. He goes back to Vietnam. I don't know so much anymore, but he would go back frequently to help build schools and.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So he's very involved in like
Yes.
sort of like the atonements and the, yeah,
Rebuild the country.
that's lovely.
I'm very involved. Very
Wanted to get,
drama of that Tara.
yeah, I wanted to get the color base down that she uses.
I can go from there.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what you do.
I'm gonna make a clay totem on top. Like her faces, yeah.
You're having
I'm kidding.
it's evolved.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, but
That's cool. Oh, I love the head. Oh. Put a little underneath, correct? Here. Am I right? Today, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna put the treats, the Diwali New Year treats after. Thank you, John. It's now. You want to wait till the very. I say go for it. I say let it go. And the other thing. Oh, okay, so we will wait till the very. Uh-huh. Fun just watching everyone. Folks at home, you're inspired and you're launched. Anyone having problems? Everyone copacetic?
Going all right.
Cool. You're doing great. Picture of this. No, because the things are too nice, but it's actually thin. Now, take a picture, start rearrange. Build some new there. Stay.
once you mold it to a shape that you like, you might want to go out. You might want to thin it, water. Here, the tape, you know what I'm saying?
Easy for me to just.
That's why I bought it.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah,
thought
I'm
about
glad
it.
that-
I need the needle at all times, but big one. I have no idea.
Yeah. It's really a little small, but you know, last minute.
But
Oh, the door.
It's the knitting.
There used to be a knitting plant here. Do you want to make an announcement about your daughter's class?
Almost food, but I was gonna think of an announcement. My daughter is teaching a crochet class in the library on September 7th. It's a Thursday. It's a holiday. I think that's class, you know, really. All class, 7, with the food. Register right in that. Figure it out.
Beautiful, it's just single objects. They're quite beautiful as solitary single objects. Pretty amazing, and you could shape it with the pencil. Make it really stand out. Yeah. Shade the flat surface. Your hands will stand up. You do it with
There you go.
No, no, there's not.
Artists inspired.
Yeah.
That's why I there's something that we're.
I'm so curious as to what you're doing now. Like a prayer box or just oh, yes. Oh, so you're German. Yeah. Cool. I don't think I've ever done hard work. I like that you did this.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
No, I like that you did something like in miniature. I wound up hating the color pattern that I did on my.
Really?
Yeah, so no, because I wanted, I think I should have started with white on the top. So like, I did red on the top, but now I'm like, no, I'm not.
As I was growing up,
This white thing is too black. You know, I know, the flag didn't hold to me. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Do my own thing. So I'm starting over.
So.
My dad was raised speaking Italian. His parents would actually use it to big like kind of shit talk it's in front of them, like, oh, we're grounding this one later. But now all of my cousins at my generation, we all wanted them. Yeah, there was that push to assimilate, like it's a survival instinct, but you know what? It's never too late though to see what calls to you. I just recently, which God, what a time to do something, just started going to shul and just with exploring Jewish heritage. Raised Jewish, but half is Jewish ancestry. What's going on? The world has changed since I started. It's never too late to like learn more. Yeah. My shul is very progressive, very hippy dippy though. Like, just something scotchy. Very fun. Oh god, it's so great.
So is it much different than Cantonese?
It's genetic triggers.
So what do you think? This does have. I think this is obvious. Oh, this is water polo. Yeah, so I could do some more. No, I think this is finished. I would do another.
I think you have so much visual interest there.
Yeah.
Really covered the page and beautiful things to look at.
Yes, I wish you would try something larger. If you're gonna do it as one. Would be my suggestion. So I would start the second piece. Maybe focusing on one place. At least 30 minutes.
My basics.
We have, yeah, give or take 30 minutes left. Alice, you could, yeah, you could rework an old piece.
Specialty. You're talented, you clearly have a talent, so what specialty?
There's nothing wrong. Staying. I'm gonna go talk to her. Because I don't want anyone to be missed.
I always do like an unconventional portrait, like a portrait made out of still objects. Like
Yes.
grass, but face leaves of grass. You can always do something like that if you're like trying to stretch.
Certain circles are good, are dark.
People always have these in these portraits, it's not a shade or what not. And it's doing these faces made out of wood.
Check your. It's fine. Check your angles, and then I want you to start looking at different shades of gray that you see in those spots. Okay, you're doing extremely well. You have to look and see, oh, what dark. But I, we were focus now on what the light is doing to the material. It is definitely darker in front, and in some places on the side, and very dark underneath. Okay, you got this, Skip. And check your angles. Horizontal lines are always parallel. This is beautiful. Are you taking pictures of your little assemblage? I'm gonna draw it. You're gonna draw this. It's even better. All right. Okay, so maybe. Simple thing to do. It's in front of my head. Do it.
I know, she's so good at everything. So far, I've done 2 classes with her, and every meeting she tries is a success. But it's true. Take a compliment, Dan.
Oh, okay.
So how do is it just a little, is that the little skull?
I'm not put friends on Facebook. But she didn't know.
It looked like, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do now. So what I want to do with this is, here's the painting, and then I want to make her kind of little totem situation. I don't know what to do. I just want to make it
On the tap.
You know what? Part of the problem is, don't think. Just do.
You're right. I'm an overthinker.
Just don't think, just.
Yeah, like not totem, well, I mean, some first were stacked, like, I mean that in terms of the shape and less in the like native signifies, I think. Like, the challenge has been.
The only thing that I can say is, let the adventure take you there.
I love this concept.
Oh.
I also love your dual glasses and this bright hat. You are someone who has a lot of panache.
This is my Bible.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have so many times with my buckles too. I'm ready to do the same thing.
And I'm telling you, I went to my house, said, you're gonna have to go into Bible. I said, oh no, because that transition it makes me dizzy.
Well,
Sure.
I found something
So,
else.
what?
But that's how we
People
are
like to put those things on it.
I'm
They
my
actually
Bible.
know that first. And I can't find out who's supposed to do that, but it will basically do it.
Well, I see.
Where like the closer,
Yeah.
it's like when I'm closer, my
I-
glasses go like this,
I-
and I could.
But
So
what
why
I,
is it all the way on time? It's supposed to be far.
but what I do is like,
That's a good question.
that's why I have, but like normal vision, then I look on the, and that brings is my close up.
I know, it's okay.
So
But
I-
it's very interesting
I
topic.
took class,
it's too noisy.
I got student meeting, and one of the students, I go to shop, and I said, John, you have a chocolate glass, I said, yeah, I know, nonsense. I did not.
Sorry, I
I was 2 minutes, so I was doing that.
Yeah.
About 30 years ago. I first you math, class. You played us, everybody in the class was wearing.
So you created a style trend.
Well, not really a style trend, but an adaptation to Bible. And it was.
It's smart.
It was.
You know what, they do sell them.
I'm sorry, kids, I have a request. Some artists like quiet or family, or if we can lower our. I don't mean to inhibit conversation. Always get up and move closer to the person you want to talk to. Nothing wrong with that.
very. Putting me blue on.
Good, thank you.
You found something to do. Checking in with folks at home. I'm assuming you're good. Just saying hi. Did not bring rulers today, but here's what you can use instead. It's anything that will help you to draw. Split your brains. Now that you have a ruler, it'll be easy. It does not matter. That may be the only one now that's off. They should match. They are parallel to each other. If you want it to be perfect, that seems to be important to you, not to me. Well, are three-dimensional thinkers, and some people are not. That's what it is. It's amazing to me, those of you who are, and those of you
It's all good. It's mine. My.
You've been looking for it?
Wow. Mine's overrated. Wow.
Congratulations. You can stop going to doctors now.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Now put it somewhere safe.
Yes.
Take a picture first.
That's a good idea. Take a picture so it's always in your cell phone
Right, yeah.
and maybe send an email to yourself too with the card. Yeah, I have like copies of my insurance cards, like in my phone, in my email. I'm pretty sure I've texted my husband and my mother both, like, just hold on to this in case I lose it.
Maybe it should be bigger. Actually, it's one I like. Yeah, I know. I quite like that. I know. Try making the hair a little bigger. You don't want to read it. So what that's like. Something. Something. Yeah, maybe that's just. I am. Say that I think the sculptural work we do really brings out more of your creativity than any other thing. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Am I right about that? Yes, yes. You guys take more risks and do more cool things. You don't have to, you can just rearrange things. You don't have to. It's more like playing. You have more permission to have fun when you do this than any other kind of work. So, gosh, that's enough for 29 years. You're sharing? Okay. John, share what it was about. You got enough for the next thing. No idea how you know how to do it. I have no idea what to do.
I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I wish I was you and your buddy.
One of the
Lots of
springs.
face.
But then a whole lot of stuff. Like the day was dead. You remember Susan? There was a piece. I don't know if I know it. I forget. It was black, had a black background.
Oh, yes,
There
like
was a
the,
skull.
yeah, the animated movie. Yes.
And I've been asking every girl.
This would be where my hair would be. So like, I roll your stuff. This all here.
See if you might have something.
Now,
Thank you.
You missed that my discussion about the fact that you were there for that
did she do this over at the,
at the multi-purpose center, not here. At the
I
multi-purpose center.
remember that meeting, okay, that day.
The other was I brought in the skull and we were drawing the skull.
Right, and I went up over to the back.
She had a whole table of stuff. She brought
Like she brought
one
the skull.
piece. We're trying to locate.
Okay, I remember you saying that. Now we're bringing it back.
So just if you could go through your stuff at home and see if you might have put it up by mistake. It's a flat. It's not a 3D. It's flat. It's a black back.
I know, but I get the rest of I'll look, but I'm sure that but I will, I'll appreciate the work. I took notes, I was taking notes in the beginning, so I remember now that and I'll look at my own work. I'll do that one, yes.
Thank you so much.
You walk me, and, thank you so much. We're gonna- Well.
Kind of a downward tilt. The eye. Very attractive. That really sets the whole. Yeah. I feel the forehead is. Yes, very. Cool. Now remember to glue.
Yeah.
Glue. This is not gonna stay.
No, I know. I'm not fully committed to it yet.
Go to Sally, she has enough glue for 9 million people. Share with her.
Yeah.
What time is it? Oh my gosh, we have like 1 minute till cleanup. I'm so sorry, everyone. And let's not forget, we have treats waiting for us, so we're gonna have to clean up quickly. I don't know if we're gonna have time for sharing today because of our wonderful treats for Diwali and Happy New Year. I don't know if we can work both things in. So here's what I'm going to do. Folks at home, if you want to share, why don't we start with you right now? Anybody? Courtney. All right, cool.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, I have to stop the share, Courtney. Give me a minute. Go for it.
Not
Go ahead.
not particularly
I'm
it's,
sorry, Courtney. Folks here in class, we're now sharing with folks at home, so conversation should stop. Thanks. Go ahead, Courtney.
not quite in the vein of Halfmoon, but an ancestral image nonetheless, of a handcart pioneer. Eventually there will be a blizzard around her.
Quite wonderful. Are you going to make the face more defined?
I don't think so.
Wonderful.
I
Okay.
wanted to leave it kind of yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Really beautiful detail in that.
Thanks.
Can you send me a JPEG?
Sure.
Thank you, Courtney. Beautiful drawing. Margot, any interest in sharing? Okay, cool.
Here, this is not, this is something I was working on and I just decided to use the time to finish. But
Wow.
Mhm.
No connection to yourself, or it's just an image you wanted to do? Wow, really, really strong.
thank you.
Love how she fills the entire page. This for you is kind of revolutionary, right?
Yeah, well, it removes the background question.
Yay, Margot. I love, but when you draw large, it's really a very strong image. I think you should do more large drawings. I think that this is your style. One suggestion I have, the edge of your shading is a little harsh. I would take your finger and blend the darkness into the skin more.
Okay,
Make that shading a little more gradual. Otherwise, she's going to appear to be flat when you want her to look more 3D, I'm guessing.
okay,
But it's a beautiful, beautiful drawing.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Is there anyone at home that I've missed?
Don't think so.
Folks here, anyone want to bring their work up to the camera here to share? Okay. First is Mudra. Okay, first is Nicola. Look at Nicola is copying Albrecht Dürer's drawing of the prayer, of the hands in prayer, because it reminds you of your mother, correct? It's quite magnificent. So she's using the wood block, she's using model magic and pencil to carve out the fingers. And then I suggested to her that she should shade the wood block with pencil to make the hands really stand out. Well done. Mudra?
Yeah, I want to tell everybody.
Explain.
Mm.
Today our new year start. So everybody's life from whole world colorful, happy and healthy.
Thank you so much. And look at her beautiful, colorful sculpture. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Healthy, happy, colorful.
So it's the end of Diwali and the Happy New Year begins. Anyone else here want to share? Oh, Alice got here first. Alice first. You don't want to show the other drawing? This is a work in progress. Alice is sharing her Welsh heritage. She's done a drawing of a Welshman. Really well done.
Very
And
cool.
she also did this. She's done two pieces today. Absolutely gorgeous drawing. What were the tribal groups that Chippewa. So Alice grew up in Michigan and many of her classmates were Chippewa, Ojibwe, and there was a third group.
Those two kind of overlap.
Okay, so Ojibwa and Chippewa classmates. Beautiful drawing. Thank you, Alice. Beautiful. Very realistic. So the other Indian lady. Heather, emulating Raven Halfmoon. She's using model magic.
No, that's not, it's plasticine.
Oh, plasticine. Sorry. Plasticine to model a figure on a found piece of wood. I love it.
Beautiful.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, gorgeous.
It's great. She said she feels the face needs more work. It's wonderful. And another gorgeous sculpture.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Wonderful detail. And this is true sculpture because it's beautiful from every direction, from every side.
Is there a bird on the top?
What is this part? Is it a
It's my,
bird?
my God. Ganpati.
So Hindu?
Hindu.
This is a Hindu god on top. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful detail. Great colors. Sally's.
Wow. Sally's a dog. I have a dog.
This is Sally's dog.
My dog need a place, need a house.
Wow.
The dog in the doghouse.
I make this stuff. I feel I come back my childhood. I childhood 就是
Children, childhood.
小孩
It's
童年
about your childhood.
Yes, make me happy.
Can't see it. You're standing in front.
I'm standing in front of it.
No, she's
Oh,
blocking.
Sally, you're blocking the view.
Oh.
So this is,
the dog in person. It's just like that. Oh. No.
it's a very cute dog. Sally's dog is wonderful.
Is your dog white?
White dog.
White dog?
White and very cute. She drives it around in a little cart. Looks like her little baby.
Now this is the Beijing.
Pat and Sally are conferring about Pat's piece. Isn't this great?
It's like a Beijing opera. Wow. Characters.
What is that in the back? What is in the background? Oh.
Pat said this is a character from Beijing opera.
Hmm,
北京歌剧
Oh, yes.
cool.
Oh.
Very cool,
I
Pat.
love
Thank
them.
you.
They are
So
so
what is
pretty.
the brown? What?
This is a packing material.
Yeah.
Packing? Wow.
Well done.
Very cool.
And thank you, Heather, for sharing some of her material.
It's very tactile. I just want to touch the whole thing. Well done, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you, those of you who are sharing your heritage with us today. Thank you very, very much. All right, John, come on up.
This is not assembled yet, but
So John's is a work in progress. Fabulous use of color.
I'm thinking of putting another block there and making it like the World Trade Center.
Okay,
One town and then another town.
so this is in memoriam of the World Trade buildings.
Cool.
Very cool.
Thank you.
He's been hard at work all morning, as have all of us. All right, anyone else wanting to share?
I'm gonna take a picture of what I can finish.
Okay, cool. Send me JPEGs. I love seeing works in progress. All right, so folks here, we must clean up and then we will have our New Year's treats. Thank you so much. Of course. Of course. And I will see everyone next week. I was so thrilled to experience this with you all. Art on, keep making your beautiful work. And we will do another celebration of Native American art. Next week, we will have art class, even though it is the day before Thanksgiving. We will still be here, just letting everyone know.
Okay.
Any last minute questions, ideas, thoughts, prayers? You folks at home can keep working, of course. Folks here, unfortunately, we have to stop and get ready for the afternoon class here at the library.
What is the afternoon?
Yoga
Oh, it's in this room.
in this room.
Free.
It's free.
This is the multi-purpose library, right?
Yes.
What time is that class?
Laura will tell you. I'm pretty sure it's 1:30.
2 o'clock,
Oh, sorry, it's 2 o'clock.
Jane.
And after next Wednesday's class, we will have one more class celebrating Native American culture. Oh, our Diwali treats are out, 1 piece per person, folks. Oh, you would like to have a photo? Oh, you want to show everyone? Please bring it up, Mujo. Oh, of course, before we eat. So everyone here, we're going to do a quick photo with our treats. Please go on up for a picture. So that means, I'm sorry, folks at home, I'm going to have to say an early goodbye. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye. I wish you were here to love and see these beautiful treats.
Do you need help setting anything up?
All right, bye.
What are you doing? Oh, you got your ball up here. Here. There you go. There you go. I love you. Okay. Okay.